All right, let's talk about our final topic for this episode, which is our top 5 NES Nintendo games and what they mean to us. So we'll go with number 5 here. My number 5 is River City Ransom.
Okay.
I think I've talked to you about this and you've either never played it or can't remember.
I remember the game. I don't know that I played it though.
Yeah, it's basically Double Dragon with a little bit of RPG elements. Because you walk around the school, there's a bully or whatever. I guess he took your girlfriend. It's been a while since I played it. All I know is you fight some dude on the rooftop at the very end of the school. And you're running around trying to beat people up, all the gang members and things like that. And you get money and you go buy little upgrades and you refill your health and things like, So it was just really, really good. I mean, it literally took Double Dragon, the combat of that, side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Right.
And they added so many cool things to it. It was really, really fun.
Sweet.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 was, I need to talk into the mic. My number 5 was RC Pro-Am.
Oh, I almost put this on my list.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you just control your little control cars and trucks and run around, and the little upgrades are sitting there, and you roll over the upgrade. I mean, you got to buy more upgrades along with it, but those kind of help propel you and stuff. And I mean, that was just fun sitting there racing around on the track, and that was just a good time.
Oh, yeah. Now, did you play Mario Kart games?
No, I don't think I did, because I never had a Super Nintendo. I never had, was Mario Kart even on Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Okay. Never had a Super Nintendo, and I didn't have the 64 on. Actually, the original.
Did you keep up with all the Sega stuff then? Like, you never had a Dreamcast either.
No.
Huh.
Yeah, I was sporadic on my consoles. I had a Nintendo, a Genesis, and then I finally, when I saw someone playing Resident Evil on PlayStation, I said I have to have that, and I took my own money and went and bought me one.
Yep. My first PlayStation was because of a different game, but I'll talk about that in a minute. My number 4 is Life Force. Did you ever play this?
Never even heard of it.
Man, we're going to play it.
Okay.
I found, if you follow me on Twitter, my normal Twitter handle, which is Rainfire13, REINFIRE 13, or you can just search Tim Jennette. Anyway, I posted that I found a Nintendo console at Goodwill, because that's what I do. I treasure hunt. Found it. It's a top loader. It's the NES 101. Brought it home, plugged it in. It still works. Everything's great. First game I put in there was not this one, but it was the second game I put in there, Life Force. It's a side-scrolling shooting game like starships and stuff.
Okay.
Right? So flying game. And one of the coolest thing was, he had, what was the other game, Gradius at the time?
Yeah.
You ever played that?
Yes.
That was like 1942 in games where
Right.
like you're a ship and you're flying from the bottom of the screen shooting things that come at you.
Right.
Life Force was side-scrolling from left to right, but then every other level was switching back and forth. So the second level you're down at the bottom shooting up. Third level you're on the side. Stuff like that.
Right.
The way it was done and the graphics, it was just awesome. It was a very, very, very hard game that I remembered. It still is hard.
Still hard.
I played it again with my brother-in-law, and it took us 4 tries of dying all our lives to get past the first stage. So
pretty rough.
Yeah, and it games like later on, I play those games all the time. And one of my favorite games, not that this part of this top 5, but was Mars Matrix on the Dreamcast, because there was so much on the screen at one time. It was literally almost impossible.
Right.
So, anyway, you never played it?
No.
We need to play it. What's your number 4?
My number 4. All right. So this was around the time that I started getting into NFL and football and stuff. So there was the original Tecmo football, but it really took a step up on Tecmo Super Bowl. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I mean, sitting there, I don't know, man. That game was just too much fun. I remember when I first got that game, we were like, it'll play all the games and you can watch them. And me and my buddy, literally, we did it for 1 week and then we stopped. But you could watch all the computer play each other, like actually play the game through and watch it.
Like if you did like a world or a whole tournament or whatever?
Yeah, well, you could do it for a whole NFL schedule, which is 16 weeks of 32 teams playing each other. So it was just, they might not have had that many teams then with expansions. No, that was a good time.
It was a good game. I like the fact that you can enter your play.
Yes.
On your controller.
How'd
don't look at what I'm doing.
Yeah, how'd you play over on the side of you.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go to number 3. My number 3, I don't know if you played this, but it's Shadow of the Ninja.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, it's a rarer game, but basically we rented this, me and my little brother. Tons of fun. We probably rented it. We put it this way: we rented it so many times, and this was back when renting games was a thing.
Yes.
We rented it so many times, our parents bought it for us. So, because otherwise they're just seeing their money go to the same game, so why not just buy it? And basically, it's a side-scrolling beat-'em-up game, Double Dragon style. You know, you got hit points and stuff, but you're ninja. And from that day on, this is why I like ninjas.
Okay.
Other than Ninja Gaiden.
Yes.
So, but this one I think was a little bit better of a game, or at least I have had more fun with it anyway. Ninja Gaiden was super good.
Yes.
But I mean, you ran around, you got upgrades. It was kind of like it played similar to Contra. It was the ninja version of Contra.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, really good game.
Sweet. What are we on?
2. 3.
3. Battletoads.
Oh my God, it's impossible. You can't beat this game.
I did beat it
with 2 players.
No, I think
I watched a couple videos where there's like something in the game to where when you're playing 2 players and you're further on, it's almost impossible to beat it. I don't know if it is impossible or if they just said it, that
with 2 players.
With 2 players.
Oh no, I've played it by myself.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah, no, I wasn't playing it with somebody. Oh wow, well, there's some kind of glitch or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead and tell me what you think. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Oh, I mean, it was just, it was a poor man's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but I mean, it was, what was it, Zip, Pimple, and Rash? I mean, that was.
I would not have guessed these names.
Yes. Oh yeah. I loved Battletoads. You had the you do the stuff like punch, knock them in the ground, and then the big boot to the face. I mean, it was so silly, cartoony, and I just had so much fun playing this game.
Did you have fun on the speeder bike levels? It's hard to remember those sometimes, but I watched a video.
I remember
ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember it's chaotic, but I went. It was stressful.
Yeah, there you go, stressful.
Yeah, it was a stressful level. I do remember that now, but
it's going so fast, and the little ramp would blink a couple times, and then bam, it's there.
Yes,
like it is there.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's go to number 2. My number 2 is Jackal. Did you ever play Jackal?
No.
You're basically...
it was a war game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a World War II style game. I don't know what the actual era is, but I'm pretty sure it may have been Vietnam type style era. I can't even say that word. But you drive a little Jeep. One button will shoot your machine gun forward. It's a game where you're going from bottom to top of the screen. You just keep going, and the screen scrolls. But one button would be your machine gun. It would shoot straight. The other button would be a grenade that you would throw in the direction your Jeep is facing. And you're running around, you're killing things, shooting things, much like, like the game Life Force and stuff I was telling you about. But you also could break these little buildings, the POW buildings, and like little guys would walk out and get in your Jeep, and then somewhere later in the stage there was like a little helicopter that you would drop them off in.
Right.
I got this for my birthday, and this was my favorite game for the longest time up until I played the next game.
Sounds fun. Or are we on 2?
Yeah, go ahead and do your notes.
Okay, yeah, all right. So 2, maybe this is very run of the mill, but up, down, left, right.
Oh,
left,
Contra.
Right. Yes, Contra.
It's out there.
So I mean, that game was just a ball to sit there and run around. You duck in the water, pop up and shoot the things. You had your spread machine guns. I mean, the laser guns. All the different kinds of guns, all the crazy aliens you fought, just the chaos that would be on the screen at times. I mean, that was one of the earlier. That might have been like one of the. I don't think I owned a lot of games on Nintendo. I think we did a lot of the renting because renting games was like really easy to do back then. Yeah,
so many.
I don't really remember owning a whole lot of games, but I did own Contra. So.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, Contra is, like, so widely available, but they charge, like, $30 for the game now.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. Like, it should not be $30. It's not a rare game. I mean, it's just, I guess it's more of a supply and demand thing at this point.
Probably.
But I played that probably last summer. This restaurant randomly had a couple of arcade machines, and they had the original Contra arcade.
Really?
It is not like the Nintendo game. Like, stuff is just different. like you could tell they redid it a little bit and kind of like almost like a remastered.
Right.
And they just some things are different. I mean, it's been so long now, I can't remember exact details, but I remember playing it and being like, I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part. You know, so it is minor things. I mean, 99% of it was the same. It's just like little bitty things. So it is a good game. It probably would have made it on my short list if we wrote one down.
If we wrote one.
My number one is Final Fantasy.
Okay.
And I'm going to guess that yours is... Anyway, so Final Fantasy, it was like, we played Nintendo games for a little bit. My brother is 7 years older than me. And so he had the Nintendo and he would hoard that thing. And then me and my little brother were like, why can't we play it? You know? And so like, we didn't play many games. He would just let us play the ones that, you know, you basically can't save anything on.
Right.
You know, because like Final Fantasy, you could save your game, but I can't remember. Like, I think you can only have one save or maybe 3 saves. I couldn't remember. If you could save a game, we didn't get to play it. That's all I remember. Except for when we got Legend of Zelda, but that was kind of a family purchase. So we could play that one. Anyway, we finally got to play Final Fantasy, and it was just, wow. Like, everything that we had been doing with our life was put on hold, and we played that. One player game, but we all sat down. It was like me and Aaron and my cousin. We just sat down and played that game. Like, over and over and over, and that's why we're like, we want our own Nintendo. So, and then on top of that, spawned countless other games that we've just played over the years, and it's just an amazing series.
Right.
What's your number one, Matt?
It's not Final Fantasy because check this out. I never played that one.
Whoa!
Yes. No, look, Final Fantasy, I never played the first one, although I have it. That's
he's got a whole sleeve tattoo
well,
of Final Fantasy
that's
stuff.
off the Final Fantasy 1 box.
That is.
I just needed a filler for my wrist, and I remembered the symbol. I was like, let me pay homage to Final Fantasy, even though I never played. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So I never played it on the original Nintendo. Like I said, I never had a Super Nintendo, so I didn't get any of the ones that was on that. I didn't get the first Final Fantasy I played was 7.
Really?
Like a lot of people.
That's true. I mean, a lot of people played 7.
Yeah.
I would say more people probably came into 7 than all the ones before it.
No, yeah. I'd almost guarantee you they did. A lot of people hadn't heard of it, or maybe heard of it but didn't play them because those games are long-winded.
Yeah.
You know, so, but no, that's...
Yeah, the concept of playing a game for hours without finishing it wasn't around that much.
I will say this. I had the same issue, like I told you, with Borderlands 2, trying to play the original one. Was
going
back is pretty hard.
It's easier if you have that nostalgia behind it.
Yes. And so with I remember with Final Fantasy at the time, which one was in Japan and didn't make it over here, 3?
2 and 3, which ended up later being brought over.
Okay. Well, whichever ones wasn't. It was one of the ones that I think one of the ones that hadn't been brought over, and maybe 6. But anyways, PlayStation come out with a double game disc, and I tried to play it, and it was impossible.
I think that was 5.
Was it 5?
Well, it came out as 5 here, but I think that was the 3rd one.
Right. Yeah, it was something weird like
Either
that.
or it was 5 over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know the Final Fantasy Anthology.
Yes. And trying to play that was impossible.
Was it that and Chrono Trigger or something?
It might have been.
Which, I don't know why it's called Final Fantasy Anthology, but whatever.
Yeah.
We're probably totally wrong, and we're going to yell at.
Yes. But, I mean, you're talking 15 years ago.
Yeah.
We're trying to go off memory here.
You think we were prepared for this?
Yeah.
What's your number one, though? What?
Zelda.
You know, I'm all excited about Final Fantasy because you have the sleeve, but that makes sense. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Zelda, whenever Zelda came out and I finally got to play it, you know, I always liked real adventurous kind of stuff. Like, you know, Goonies. I love Goonies and stuff. And I don't know, it just gave me that sense of adventure I was looking for, as goofy as that might sound. But I mean, it really hit what I was looking for at the time on a game. So no, I fell in love with Zelda. I'll sit on YouTube and try and hunt around for different variations on the theme. That music just really,
it's iconic.
Oh yeah, it really hits me in a way that music is just really striking.
Did you play the second one?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I liked it more than what a lot of people did. I know a lot of people had issues with it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I think it's just because they changed it up too much.
Yeah.
It's almost like Final Fantasies and they changed the battle system.
Yeah, no, it was a big change.
Yeah.
It was a huge change. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I like to.
Cool. Yeah, I like Zelda. I probably like the one on Super Nintendo better, but we played the normal Zelda a lot.
Yeah.
To the point where it was like you could almost beat it in one sitting.
Right.